about how to transform your health in days without spending hundreds on supplements or hours at the gym, even if you've tried everything already and you feel like nothing's worked. My name is Dr. Beata, and again, we are going to have fun with this because this is all about our identity and the energetics of our health. Welcome to the Radiant Health and Wellness community. Throughout each video training and masterclass, we explore perspectives designed to empower you and activate your radiant health, wellness, and vitality. My name is Dr. Beata Harasim, and I created the Radiant Health Protocol, an integrative system utilizing 6 pillars to master your health and wellness from within as you make your body your ally on your journey to optimal well-being. This protocol is the solution for various signs and symptoms, stages of life, diagnoses, and conditions. Join us as we take a deep dive into just one aspect of health and wellness right now. And these episodes are for educational purposes only. Please consult with your physician or a practitioner before making any changes. Let's go. Your journey to radiant health starts here. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is the summer version of how to transform your health identity. My name is Dr. Beata, and I want you to know that we are making health fun here. Yes, we are going to do the serious work, and we're going to show you how to transform your health and your health identity in just days. And this is going to be lighthearted and fun and interactive all at the same time. So I've just got a couple minutes letting people come in, but I will go ahead and get started with the presentation and with the good stuff. So let me go ahead and pull up the presentation for you all, because this is what you don't want to miss. All right, let's make it bigger. Okay, perfect. So again, we are talking all about how to transform your health in days without spending hundreds on supplements or hours at the gym, even if you've tried everything already and you feel like nothing's worked. My name is Dr. Beata, and again, we are going to have fun with this because this is all about our identity and the energetics of our health. So, I'm clicking too fast here. This is not going to be another like eat less, move more talk. We're going to dive deep into how your body, your nervous system, and your brain are wired and what's really stopping you from making lasting health changes. So for those who are live, go ahead and drop a yes in the chat if you've ever started a health plan full of motivation only to fall off track a few weeks later. Or you can drop a me in the chat if you've tried a whole bunch of things and you still aren't seeing improvement. And I just want to mention, for those of you who are going to be catching the replay, in the members area, when you log in, there is a whole discussion section, and you can go ahead and participate in the chat there as well. Or if you're going to be watching a version of this on YouTube, go ahead and put that in the comments there as well. And just a reminder that this session is being recorded and the replay will be shared with all participants. But what is shared in the group stays in the group. There will be an edited version for YouTube. And please share as much or as little as you feel comfortable with. You can be on or off camera, and just please mute until you are asked to unmute, where there will be sections to share. And as always, this is for educational and informational purposes only, and it is not medical advice. Please consult with your physician or a practitioner before making any changes. So some of you may be wondering, like, am I in the right place? Is this really for me? And more than likely, the answer is yes. So this is for you if you've tried diets, right? Maybe you've tried multiple diets or every diet out there, it feels like. You've done detoxes, you've taken a bunch of supplements, and you still feel stuck with your health. This is also for you if you've tried relying on willpower, right? White knuckling just to get through the day, just to get through the workout or whatever it is. This is also for you if you feel like your body is working against you, not with you. Maybe you start strong with healthy habits, but you can't stay consistent. Or maybe you're dealing with low energy, bloating, brain fog, or inflammation. You know there's a better way, but you just might not have found it yet. If any of this sounds familiar, you are in the right place. So go ahead and tell me in the chat, what's your biggest health challenge that is keeping you stuck? And I put this picture at the bottom because we're going to be going through this tree. And with this tree, there are signs and symptoms in the roots, or I'm sorry, in the branches and the leaves. These vary widely. So it can be having difficulty losing weight if you're overweight or obese. It could be food allergies, seasonal or environmental allergies. It could be autoimmunity, cancer, hormonal issues, pregnancy or breastfeeding challenges, chronic pain or fatigue, digestive disorders, heart conditions, diabetes, skin conditions, even for babies and children, right? Colic, eczema, reflux, etc., fertility challenges, autism, anxiety and mental health, and many more. There's only so many I could fit on this picture without it being overwhelming. So what is your biggest health challenge where you keep getting stuck? We're going to start bringing awareness to this, and we're diving right into the good stuff. And when we take a look at your health journey, I invite you to take a moment to really acknowledge where you are. So pause and reflect on what signs and symptoms are you experiencing in your body or your mind and your soul. And this is if you do have that journal or notebook or even your notes app on your phone, you can go ahead and jot these down because we will be coming back to these. And how does your health feel today? Is it something that is weighing you down daily? Is it something that's totally taking over all of your thoughts? How long has this been going on for? For some of you, it may be months. For others, years or even decades. And what have you already tried to improve your health? And what results did you get? And we want to be honest with ourselves here. Have we tried some diets, maybe some supplements? Have we tried a cleanse or a detox? And what was the result of that? Because just like a GPS, right? We're going to be talking about a health GPS here. We need to know where we're starting to be able to know how to get to where we want to go, where we want to end up, or at least where we want to be along that journey. So this is all about the starting point. Now, again, take a moment to think of what have you already tried with your health? Have you tried various diets? Have you taken supplements? Have you tried prescriptions or maybe the more traditional medicine approach? Have you done protocols and cleanses already? Have you just tried gritting through, like white knuckling your way through eating certain things or going to the gym or whatever it may be? Have you tried energy work? Have you tried mindset work, manifestation, law of attraction? And do you feel like with these things that you're trying, you're on this hamster wheel where you're just trying thing after thing? And it's not quite getting you anywhere, but you're keeping on running, right? Things are still just rolling in place. Or have they been Band-Aid approaches where, especially with some of the prescriptions and conventional medicine approaches, is it something that's just been taking away your symptoms temporarily, but they keep coming back? Is it something that's not getting to the root cause? And then again, think of these things that you've tried. Do you like the results that you've been getting with that? Are you where you want to be today? And then how has that had an impact on you personally in your daily life, in your energy levels, in your interactions and relationships with loved ones, with coworkers or your business? How is it impacting you socially, even financially and career-wise? And how have you been feeling going through this journey? Are you feeling lost or confused? Are you feeling energized or are you feeling fatigued? Are you feeling overwhelmed maybe with options or decisions? Again, we're getting that starting point for our health GPS here. And now we're going to take a moment to acknowledge where we want to be, right? Where is the destination? So I invite you to imagine, what would your health look and feel like if you were to finally experience true healing and vitality, right? How would that feel? How would your days be? What would you be able to do, or who would you be able to impact? How would you be able to show up in your family life, again, in loved ones, in your social circles, at work, with your finances or your career? How would life be different if your mind, body, and energy were fully aligned? And I invite you to do this exercise because we want to make this tangible, where we're going to use our hands to literally create benchmarks for ourselves. So at the bottom is the symptoms that we have. All right. And we're going to put on a scale of 0 to 100. So 100, the top here is going to be perfect health, right? Or ideal health. 0 is not so great, right? So with the symptoms that you have right now, where are you on that scale of 0 to 100? Are you at a 10%, a 25%? Maybe you're at a 50 or 70%. It's going to be different for each of us. But go ahead and put your hand at that benchmark. And then we're going to do the things that we've tried, right? And have they made a difference? Have they improved our health 10%, 20%, 50%? It's going to be different for each of us in our journeys. Okay, so now we've got our benchmark of where we've gotten to with the things that we've tried. Now, where do we want to be? Many of us want to be, if not at 100%, we want to be up there. We want to be in the 90s, right? And just take a look at that gap. Take a look at that difference. We want to make this tangible because so many times people say, I want to feel better. I want to sleep better. I want to have more energy. Those are very vague, right? We need to start making things a little more detailed, a little more specific, because when it becomes tangible, we start creating a plan for how to get there. Because we can want all of these things, but we need to cross that bridge and go on the path to getting to that final destination. That's what our health GPS is going to guide us through today. And if anyone would like to share anything about their personal journey, you're more than welcome to unmute. You can put in the chat, or again, for those watching the replay, there is the discussion section in the members area that you are more than welcome to go ahead and input your answers in as well. Now, what if I shared with you the real reason why most health approaches fail? And really, when we look at it, many health programs focus on willpower, restriction, sheer discipline. You're told to force yourself to eat healthy, right? Quote unquote healthy, whatever that may look like. Push through exhaustion at the gym, resist cravings with willpower, maybe even take hundreds of dollars worth of supplements each month. But here's the truth. White knuckling your way to health doesn't work in the long term. And I've been there personally. So I know this is the case where I used to work out for hours and hours at the gym. And what would I do when I finished my 2 or 3 hour workout? I would go and have a humongous sub or sandwich. And because it wasn't my identity, it was just a mechanism of myself pushing through this workout to get healthy and to lose weight, only to sabotage myself right after. And this happened for years. Have you been there as well? And why does this happen, right? Because these approaches of just pushing through and forcing ourselves, they're not really getting at the root. They're ignoring the core identity that's driving our choices, that's driving our reality. And until we shift who we believe we are, our brain will keep pulling us back to the familiar and even the unhealthy habits, no matter how hard you try. This is wired in us, and we're going to talk about how to work through this in a few minutes. Real transformation begins when we stop forcing and start aligning. That's when health stops feeling like a battle and it starts feeling natural. So for those who aren't familiar with me, my name is Dr. Beata. And I'm a holistic and integrative doctor, and I've been in the wellness trenches for over 20 years now, and over 13 years working professionally with my doctorate. I have degrees in nutrition and psychology. I'm residency and fellowship trained in orthopedic manual physical therapy. But here's what most people don't know. I was just like you. Even with all this knowledge, all this background, my body wasn't cooperating with the things that I was trying to force it through, essentially. I was exhausted, I was bloated, I was burnt out, and I was still struggling with weight loss, with my mental health, especially anxiety. And I didn't even know that I had an autoimmune condition brewing right under the surface. And there was a time when my daughter came into this world, and I realized that even though I knew all these things, it wasn't enough because my daughter, as a baby, struggled with colic, reflux, food allergies, eczema, etc. She had a vaccine injury, she had neurologic symptoms. She stopped developing for a period of time until we got her back on track. And during this period, I was completely overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do because the methods that I knew, what I was trained in, only got us so far. And as a sleep deprived mom, you can imagine I was completely burnt out, confused, and starting to question everything I thought I knew from my conventional training. I felt completely hopeless. We went from specialist to specialist. We tried different protocols, and I had enough supplements to literally look like a health food store aisle. But they weren't working. They weren't giving us the result because ultimately I wanted my daughter to stop crying. I wanted her to sleep. I wanted her skin to clear up. I wanted her to stop pooping blood. And we needed to figure out a way how to do that. As a mom, there was no other option for me. I had to keep going until I found an answer. And I really remember thinking, like, maybe this is just how it's going to be. Now, motherhood sometimes doesn't let you quit that easily. Not when your child needs you, and not when something deep inside in my heart, I knew there had to be a better way. And throughout this experience, I was actually ignoring my own health challenges. And looking back, it was a blessing that my daughter's health challenges were so pronounced because this was how I ended up helping myself. And so maybe some of you are feeling this deep inside, where for you yourself, there has to be a better way. And I want you to know there are solutions, and we're going to go through some options for you to start exploring right now. Because for me, there was a turning point. It was ultimately a moment of surrender. Literally at, I don't know, it was probably 2 or 3 in the morning. I was sitting in the rocking chair holding my daughter, who just kept waking up every 20 minutes, screaming in pain. I was breastfeeding her and just tears streaming down my face, thinking of how are we going to figure this out? How are we going to get her relief? How am I going to get some sleep? How are we going to help her body heal? And in that moment, I had a spiritual awakening. And I love this quote because it's so true. And I'm going to reference this many times throughout this presentation, is that life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. And that's what happened in that moment. I didn't realize what was happening, but now looking backwards, I can see the pieces of the puzzle falling into place. And I invite you to think about your own health journey that way as well. Because after that moment, I started letting go of the rules. I started ignoring what everyone else was saying, and I started following my inner wisdom. I tapped into my intuition. I started trusting that my motherhood instincts were going to get us through this, and that we were going to find solutions and answers and someone who could help us. And that's when everything started to change. There was this lightning bolt moment that I had where I started receiving divine guidance. I did end up reaching out for help. I found mentors. And during one powerful session with one of our mentors, I remember her to this day looking me in the eyes and saying this word of attachment. I'm sorry, not attachment. It was abandonment, abandonment. And it literally sending chills throughout my body. And in that moment, I realized that this wasn't just physical. There was a connection between the emotions and energies of those emotions and the physical challenges that we were experiencing. These were trapped emotions. These were limiting beliefs. These were energetic blocks and identity. I didn't realize the identity at the time, but again, looking back now, there was an identity piece, and this is what we're going to focus on today. But these invisible forces were creating the perfect storm that kept us stuck. No matter how much physical intervention we were doing, we couldn't heal without addressing what wasn't being seen. These energies and emotions live within us. We are energetic beings, and we pick up energies and emotional wounds and traumas throughout our entire lives. From childhood, throughout our teen years, throughout our adulthood. And it's all about knowing how to work with these so that we don't create chronic illness, so we don't create these chronic blocks that then manifest in physical symptoms. But this identity piece is something that really I discovered made all the difference in shifting this energy. And so when we were going through this process with my daughter, I did not see this coming. I was changing my diet while breastfeeding. I was doing this energetic work, really for my daughter, I'll be honest. I wasn't even thinking about myself. And I couldn't wait to finish breastfeeding and actually return to my old habits. But then something surprising happened. As we were on this journey, I realized that my bloating disappeared, because that picture on the left there was me in college. But guess what? Even throughout my professional career, I continued to be bloated, even though I was trying holistic remedies and changing up my diet and this and that. My digestion remained a mess. My brain fog started lifting. My energy returned, which was a complete shock to me because I didn't see that connection beforehand. And I didn't realize how bloated I actually was until the bloating was gone. I didn't realize how much brain fog I had until I could think clearly. I didn't realize how fatigued I was until I had energy. And again, looking backwards, when I started experiencing these things, this level of wellness, my identity shifted. And when that happened, I no longer worried about stopping breastfeeding and going back to my old habits. I was excited to feel this way. And literally, that's what's kept me going through these years. My daughter and I actually ended up breastfeeding for almost 7 years because I didn't care about this quote unquote burden, because I was feeling amazing with the changes that we were making. And on the right, this is me, I believe it was last summer. And I literally effortlessly maintain my weight. I eat based on what my body needs. And it is a level of effortlessness in health that is possible for you too, no matter where you are on your journey. And so this piece started to fall into place when I had started my private practice and was working with clients for a little while. And then I decided to visit my friend in Florida. She was working during the day, so I got to spend the day on the beach in Hollywood, Florida during actually January, but it was beautiful because it was like 85 there, while up in the Northeast, it was, oh my gosh, it was like in the 20s, I want to say. It was really cold. And while I was sitting there, I decided to do some journaling and some typical goal setting that I do. I had a moment of that divine guidance come in, and clarity started to hit me while I was sitting there. And that's when the pieces came together that True health transformation doesn't happen from willpower or effort alone. It starts with identity. And that's what I noticed is that in my clients, there were certain clients who took the tools that I provided them, took the resources, and did amazing. And then there were others who stayed stuck. And this I realized was the difference. So in that day, I started putting together powerful tools from years of learning with this divine inspiration and birthed what I now call the radiant energy techniques. And this moment has sparked the creation of what is now the Wellness by Design method. It's a process that blends nervous system alignment, energetic recalibration, intuitive guidance with identity shifting to create deep, lasting change. This was a whole new way to unlock healing from the inside out. And what I saw in myself shocked me. So after I did this mini retreat for myself, the energetic shift I experienced didn't just change how I felt, it actually changed how my body responded to everything else I was doing. So I started getting even more results, feeling even better from the things I was already doing. It was like removing a dam so the river could finally flow freely and healing could be received. The missing piece was this identity and energetic shift. And it's needed before we change our diet, before we take a bunch of supplements, or before we switch up our routine. This makes all the difference. And after my transformation, I started using these techniques with my clients, and the results were incredible. So I started doing these with virtual and in-person retreats. The in-person ones were at the Bridge Healing Arts Center in Farmington, Connecticut. And I had a wide variety of people coming in for these. And what I realized is that all of these people came in with different signs and symptoms, different conditions, different things they were working on. But it wasn't about chasing symptoms anymore. It became about shifting from the inside out and energetically becoming the person who naturally makes aligned, healthy choices. And that shift changed everything for me. And it's done the same for my clients, especially the ones who've tried everything with no lasting results. Because real transformation begins at this identity level. That's when health becomes effortless. People who've been stuck for years finally experience breakthroughs in chronic conditions, a return of energy, a deep sense of alignment and self. And when you rewire who you are at your core, everything starts falling into place. Your brain and nervous system stops sabotaging your healthy choices. Your cravings naturally align with what your body actually needs. Movement becomes something you want to do, not something you should do. And healthy habits become effortless because you're no longer fighting yourself. And the transformation that happened was profound because it wasn't just health that improved. These individuals transformed their lives on a whole. And what I've done is I've refined this process into a simple, powerful framework that anyone can follow. And today I'm going to guide you through pieces of it so you can experience this same transformation too. And this is that full picture of the tree that we started with at the beginning. And I want to show you this because, again, it doesn't matter what branches or leaves you have, what signs or symptoms are showing up for you. What we're looking at are the root causes because the root causes are the same no matter what you've got going on up top. So this is what the Radiant Health Protocol is based on. On the left side is gut health, which is our gut microbiome, healing and sealing leaky gut, along with holistic nutrition and integrative detoxification. On the right side is what we're going to be focusing on today is the emotional energetic side. So like we mentioned, working with those emotions and the energies of the emotions of what we've picked up throughout our lives and the nervous system regulation and decoding the body, starting to understand what our body's communicating with us. Now, this process together, it seems separate, but it's integrative in the sense that everything is connected. So by doing this emotional energetic work today, you might start experiencing a integrative detoxification process. You might start seeing a shift in your nutrition habits. You may start feeling a shift in your gut health by doing this work. It is all connected. And the way I approach this and teach this, some people say it looks complicated. It becomes very simple and very powerful for that reason. So why this approach works for the long term is because it's all about empowerment. I'm teaching you how to shift your own identity, how to master your health. You're going to learn how to apply a system that works with your body, not against it. And you're going to use root cause strategies that truly heal. And you become your own health advocate. When everything aligns, this becomes effortless. And today you're going to get a taste of one of the most important and empowering strategies to help you reclaim your health and vitality, even if you've tried other things and failed. And again, this happens for all sorts of conditions. And one of my clients recently shared, she came in with back pain, with Crohn's, which is an autoimmune condition, lots of other digestive issues. She's been going to the GI for years. She's had this for decades. And she gets a flare up, she gets steroids, and things calm down. And then the cycle repeats. And she's been going through this again for decades. When we started working together, we looked at the root causes. We weren't looking at steroids, which is, again, one of those Band-Aid treatments. We started looking at the root of what was going on for her. We did the gut health work. We did the emotional, energetic work. She was able to make these shifts for long-term resolution. It is now well over a year since that when we started working and her last Crohn's flare-up. She has not needed any prescriptions, and she's able to manage this on her own. She is empowered in her health. She understands what her body's letting her know and how to work with it, how to support it based on what it's telling her. And not just this, right? It's not just the health piece. She got her life back. She's now able to be the mom that she wants to be, to spend time with her kids, to do fun things with her kids and her husband. She's able to show up better at work and make more of an impact with her patients. And this is profound because she is literally a different person now than when we started working together. And it isn't just her. But I want you to start experiencing this yourself. So what I am going to start us off with is awakening our physiology. And this is one of the nervous system regulation techniques that we use is breath work. And this one specifically is called the dragon breath. And what this does is it literally starts making you present in the present moment. It brings you to the present moment. It also starts getting your cells ready for rest and digest and for healing. There's two states of our nervous system which dictates our cellular health, which is fight or flight or rest and digest. And we're going to now start going into that rest and digest while also boosting our circulation, boosting our metabolism, and even getting our brain ready to start receiving this wisdom. So I invite you to do this with me. I'm going to guide us through, and this is a movement piece. So I'm going to just show you first what it looks like is your arms are going to start overhead with your palms open. Now, it's going to be a quick exhale through our nose, and you're going to close your hands and pull down on that exhale, and then you're just going to bring your arms back up, and I'm going to just show you, it's going to look like this. So it's really quick exhales. We're going to do 30 repetitions. We're going to take a break. I'm going to guide us through, and you don't have to keep count. I'll be doing my counting. And we're going to guide you through a short meditative process. And then we're going to do 2 rounds of that. And you're going to just be feeling into your body and observing. No judgment, just observing what's happening in your body and what you're feeling. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with those arms up overhead. And when you're ready, we'll go ahead and start with the exhale. Ready and go. Good. And you can slowly rest your arms, palm up on your thighs, and you can close your eyes if you feel called to do so. And just tune into your body. Can you feel your heart starting to beat a little faster? Your blood starting to pump a little more? Maybe you feel some tingles. You might feel some energy moving through your body. And just becoming present in this now moment. And then we're going to go ahead and do round two. So same thing, arms up overhead, ready and go. Good, and you can slowly rest those arms again. And again, just tuning into your body. Again, feeling that heart beat start to quicken a bit, starting to feel your pulse, the blood pumping through your body, just feeling your breath, maybe feeling some tingles and energy moving through your body, just feeling yourself here, present in this now moment, where we are safe, we are exactly where we need to be right now. Okay, one last round here. We're going to go arms up again. Last set here. Ready and go. Good. And slowly rest again. Just feeling your breath, feeling your heart pumping, feeling that blood circulating through your body. Feeling any energy or tingles throughout your body. Feeling yourself here, present in this now moment. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes and just again tune into your body. See how you feel. And this is a very interesting tool because it awakens our body, but it actually calms us at the same time. And so this is a tool that you can use whenever you need to regulate your nervous system or become present. And so this can be in stressful situations. This can be in the morning to wake yourself up and get yourself ready for the day. This can even be towards the end of the day when you're getting ready for bed. It can be before a meeting or a presentation that you have to do. It can be before a difficult conversation or even something fun that you're going to do. So this is a wonderful tool that helps you regulate. It helps you come back to the middle, to this place of being centered. Now, the other tool that we're going to share for nervous system regulation is movement and dancing. And so what we're going to do is do a quick 3-minute dance break. You can have your cameras on or off. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but I invite you just to move your body in ways that feel good to you. And we sometimes underestimate music and dance and how healing this can be to our body and our soul. And so this is a song, actually, I believe it's from the 90s. Earlier this year, I was doing one of these presentations and it just came to me and I said, this is the perfect song. And so you might not recognize it now, but most people recognize it once I start playing it. And, you know, it's a feel-good song, and just go ahead and move your body. And then we will come back. All right. Let's go back here. All right. So just check in a moment to how you're feeling right after doing some movement. Can you feel some joy bubbling up? Can you feel your energy levels reset? And no matter where we are with our health, right? I know some of us may be in a wheelchair or may not be able to get up. We can still move our bodies in the ways that we can. We can always experience and utilize this movement. This is a beautiful way of getting our body again to regulate and to receive healing. And the words are just so profound because so many of us have been hurting. We've been in dark places. If you're here, you're struggling with your health. There's something going on, right? And there is hope. There is light. There is possibility because all of us have the potential to feel good. All of us are free to feel good and to be able to live our lives and have the impact on our loved ones, on the world, in the way that is our calling, our purpose in this world. So one of the things that I'm going to gift you is the Wellness by Design program. I have a playlist that is like this feel good playlist. These songs that help us, again, get us into the mood. Myself and many clients use them in the morning to kind of pump up our day, or again, before a meeting or something exciting that we're doing. Or even on those tough days when we want to kind of switch our energy around, if we've been dragging all day or feeling tired, putting on these songs is going to, again, awaken your body and help you become able to receive that healing and that wellness that is yours already. So that's going to be a gift that you're going to be getting in the emails after this masterclass. So definitely keep an eye out for those. And again, feel free to save the playlist. You can also add songs, your own songs, so you can create your own playlist and build upon it with your favorite ones. And feel free to share those with the community as well, because I could always use more songs added to there. And again, everyone has different tastes. So you got my 90s taste to start off today. Now, when we're talking about health and wellness, it really is this thread that holds together our whole life. And so we want to think of, how are things being affected with our physical health? How are things being affected with our emotional health? How are things being affected with our mental health, our energetic or spiritual health, with our relationships, with our love partners or relationships, with our family members or our kids if we have them, and parenting? in our social situations with friends? And again, how about with our business or our career, right? Is it impacting how you're showing up, how you're able to serve your clients or your patients? Is it affecting your finances? Is it affecting your intellectual health? And how about overall quality of life? Because when we do have a health condition, it's never one dimensional. It spreads out again through our entire experience. And health is the greatest wealth. And so today, using aspects of that wellness by design process, I'm going to walk you through how to help transform your health identity. Because let's be real, when your health is off, it sometimes becomes the only thing that we can think about. But what if you can take back control and step into the vibrant, fulfilling life that you are meant to live? And this process is a game changer. Are you open to exploring what that could look like for you and how that could feel? So I also want to mention that for those who stay to the end, you're going to get a bonus. So you're going to get these 3 steps that I'm going to walk you through, but you're also going to get a special bonus that's only available to those who are live today. And again, for those who haven't really heard about me before or aren't familiar with my work, my name is Dr. Beata, and I am not your typical doctor. And through my personal experience in combination with all of that traditional training and background, I co-created really with the divine, this radiant health protocol. It's a transformative approach to help you master your health from the inside out. And like I mentioned earlier, the pillars are gut health and emotional energetics. And these are really the true root causes of whatever you've got going on with your health. And these work together quantumly to really make a profound difference in your experience and your healing. By aligning your body and mind, you gain complete mastery over your health, and your body becomes a trusted ally rather than a source of frustration. So when you have this deeper connection, you start seeing your symptoms as communication. You start being to understand what your body's trying to tell you. It becomes something that you work with. It's a partner with you, and health becomes your natural state. It allows you to move through your entire life with confidence, clarity, and radiant vitality. And again, going back to this, there's so many different signs and symptoms that you may be experiencing, and the root causes are always the same. And this goes for anything. The one instance sometimes is those acute scenarios. So if you are in a car accident, or you fall and hurt something, but if something like that isn't healing quickly, there's usually an emotional energetic root to it, or a gut health root to it that's connected with inflammation in your body. So really, these essentially chronic symptoms, but anything even acute that doesn't heal in a quick time frame that it's supposed to, these are the root causes. And so identity shifting beats willpower every single time. Like I mentioned earlier, when I first started my practice, I saw that there were some clients who did really great. I gave them the same tools and resources as everyone else, and they just took off. They did fantastic. And then there was this other group that kind of stayed stuck. Like they had the tools, they had the resources, I would guide them and this and that, and they still kind of like stayed stuck in their journey. And so that's when I realized this identity shift is really what helps make the difference, what helps us get results and success. Because many people try to push into health, right? Restriction, rigid plans, willpower. But our brain is literally wired to resist anything that contradicts your current identity. So I'm going to give you a quick example of that. So if there were 2 people, okay, and I went, and I'm by no means advocating for cigarettes or anything like that, but if I went to person A and offered them a cigarette and they said, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. Versus if I went to person B and I said, "Oh, would you like a cigarette?" And they say, "No way, I'm not a smoker." Can you feel the difference in that shift energetically of the response, right? Versus, "Oh, I'm trying to quit," versus, "No, I'm not a smoker. I don't want a cigarette." Can you feel the like resistance and that push pull with person A, where it's like, "Oh, if you ask me maybe a couple more times, maybe I'll take it." Versus person B is, "No, I'm not a smoker, so there's no way I'm going to be touching a cigarette right now." Can you feel that? This is what happens. So same thing when we start a workout plan or we start to modify our diet or whatever it is. If it's contradicting our current identity, we're going to feel that resistance, that push pull, and it's going to be a lot harder. But if deep down you see yourself as a person who is healthy, who does XYZ, that's going to completely feel different. Versus if you feel yourself or see yourself as a person who struggles with health, your subconscious will end up sabotaging your efforts. So when you shift at the identity level first, your brain and body stops resisting. It starts cooperating. It starts going, of course, a healthy person will do XYZ. It becomes so much easier. And that's why clients say things like, "I'm effortlessly becoming the person I told myself I wanted to be." It's not effort, it's alignment. And this goes for men and women. This testimonial is from a woman in particular, but this happens for all age levels, all, men, women, even teens and children. And I actually use this technique even with my daughter now. It's all about the words that we use, the identity that we place on ourselves or our children. And how do we work with this identity so that it supports us in our healing? And this person gave this testimonial just a few weeks into the program. And already she was saying how much it's changed who she was deep inside. And she can already feel a difference. And we've been in touch over the past couple months, and she is still going. She is still doing amazing with her health choices, with her health journey, all because her identity is shifted. And this isn't just health, it's affecting her career, her finances, her family life, her quality of life. She was just on vacation because she could, right? And so this is so profound, the difference that this makes on you as a whole. So I want to talk about the motivation myth quickly, because motivation is such a fleeting emotion. It is not the answer, right? So people often talk about motivation. Oh, you just got to get motivated. And there's different kinds of motivation. There's intrinsic and extrinsic. So there's a difference there too. But when it's extrinsic, you're doing something for an outer reason. So for someone else. Okay, so for those who have taken my weight loss masterclass, I talk about how I initially wanted to lose weight for a boy, right? I wanted to, date this boy. And so I thought, okay, if I lose some weight, maybe he'll think I'm cute and, etc. Well, guess what? That was an extrinsic reason, right? Because when he was no longer available and I was no longer interested, the motivation wasn't there. And guess what? I went right back into my old habits. Versus if it's something intrinsic, and this is your why, when you have a deep why and you have clarity on this why, it changes everything. So it's not motivation, it's knowing your why that makes all the difference. And we're going to start getting a little bit into the heart of your why today. So this is a guided practice I'm going to guide you through now, but you're also going to get, again, in those follow-up emails after this masterclass. So you can really take some time to journal this out, really start tapping into what is inside for you, what's in your heart, what is your soul communicating with you. And so for now, you can just take some notes, see what comes to you, what insights come to you now. And again, you have the resources and the guidance to continue this process afterwards. And there's no right or wrong answers. So the first question is, what is your why, right? What's truly driving you to make this change? Oh, and I wrote that twice, so ignore that on this slide. What's the deeper reason behind your desire for better health? And so I'll give that example again. When I was, wanting to date this boy afterwards, right? That didn't work out so well. Then it started being, well, actually at the time I had asthma, and you know what? I didn't want to use an inhaler anymore. I didn't want to rely on medication. I wanted to be able to run around, and I wanted to be able to work out without losing my breath. And I went to UConn. For those who are familiar, it's a huge campus. So I wanted to be able to walk around the campus and not be out of breath and do all the fun things with my friends, right? So that was the layer underneath that I said, you know what? I think by losing some weight and being successful with that, I can actually help my asthma. And long story short, I actually did, even back then in college with what I knew at the time, which is still profound. People are, on inhalers for lifetimes. And using just what I knew at that moment, I was already able to make a profound shift in my health. Right. And then it goes layer beyond layer beyond layer. And again, that's going to be a deeper practice that you're going to get in your email. And then what if nothing changes? So if you don't take action today, where will you be in 5 years? Right? Where's your health going to be? What's your life going to look like if you don't do anything? In 10 years? And even in 20 years? How will your health, your energy, your overall quality of life be affected? If nothing changes, do you think your health is going to improve on its own? Do you think it's going to stay the same? Could it possibly decline? And that sometimes for some people can be a tough question, but I'm here to give you the tough questions and the tough love, because sometimes we really need to put things into perspective. And that's going to give us our why as well when we start answering these questions. And how is this going to change your life? So imagine feeling your best every day. How would that impact your energy, your relationships, your confidence, your purpose? What becomes available to you? What opportunities become possible? And this is the question where you can let your wildest imagination, go and dream big. What happens when you don't have the chronic pain or fatigue anymore? What happens when your digestion is 100 times better and you're not running to the bathroom every 5 minutes? What happens when you can think clearly? When you wake up energized every day? And why is this a must for you right now? Not just something you should do, but something you must do. What's at stake if you don't make a shift now? Is it missing out on your kids' childhood and not being able to play with them? Is it not being able to perform well in work or with your business or career? Is it relationships that are being strained? There's so many different possibilities. And again, each of us is going to have our own unique why. And again, there's no right or wrong with this. And again, what becomes possible when you do take agency of your health? When you choose yourself and you choose to support yourself with this transformation? These are really powerful questions. And again, when we go deep with this, I invite you to take at least 5 minutes with each question to just, I call it automatic writing or journaling, but it's automatic writing where you just keep writing. And it is amazing the things that you will put down on paper, things that come out of your subconscious that you weren't really aware of, but the truth is inside. We just need to hold the space to allow our body, our mind, our soul to communicate with us. And again, there's going to be further guided practices in the email follow-up for you. I will mention as well that some people haven't been getting the emails or haven't been finding them. If you haven't, they may be in your spam or promotions folder. I will just mention that sometimes, especially Gmail and Yahoo, they tend to place them in there, especially the promotions tab. So if you aren't getting the emails, make sure that you are clicking on your promotions tab on your desktop or laptop and looking for them there, because 99% of the time they are there. If you still don't see them, please reach out and I'm more than happy to assist to figure out a way to get those to you. And again, if anyone would like to share any insights that came through with this, again, feel free to unmute or type in the chat, or you can also, again, for those watching the replay, or even now, you can put it in the discussion section in the members area as well. That'll be up for you as well. And now the next piece that we're going to talk about is the reason why our brain resists change, because it's something that we don't really think about often, but we are evolutionarily wired to see change like a tiger attack. So when we think back to the caveman days, okay, if you were out walking around and you saw a tiger, your nervous system would go into survival mode. So there's a number of things that can happen. One is you would go into fight or flight. So fight mode is where you would try to fight off the tiger. Flight mode is you would try to run away from the tiger. You could go into fawn, which is where you're trying to please the tiger in hopes that it won't eat you. So maybe you give it your, snack that you have in your pocket, you throw it to it and hope that the tiger eats that instead of you. Or you may freeze. And so freezing is where you would fall and play dead. And again, hope that the tiger sniffs you and feels that you're dead and moves on. So the same process happens in our body with change. So when we say, I'm going to start a new workout routine, or I'm going to start this new diet, or I'm going to do X, Y, Z, whatever it may be, there's little warning lights that are literally going off in our nervous system going, ooh, this is new. Ooh, I'm not so sure about this. Am I going to run away from it? Am I going to freeze? Am I going to pretend like everything's okay? Ignore it, right? And this literally happens on a cellular level as well. And this happens with healing as well. When we're in that state of fight or flight, freeze or fawn, our body cannot heal. We can be eating all the right things. We can be taking all the supplements. We can be doing all the breath work, etc. But if we are constantly in fight or flight, we cannot access healing. Our cells literally on that level cannot receive it. Versus, and I will mention, that fight or flight, freeze or fawn mechanism is really important, right? That's how humanity has survived. The difference is that we want to turn it on when we need to, and then turn it off when we don't. So in modern times, that's if you're driving and someone cuts you off and your nervous system kicks on and you slam on the brakes, right? And you avoid an accident. That's beautiful. We want that system working. However, we don't want ourselves to be in fight or flight for the whole day afterwards. And unfortunately, that's how many of us are living nowadays, because we get a text on our phone and we go into fight or flight. We get an email from our boss, we go into fight or flight. Our children may be screaming for, a toy or TV or whatever it is, we go into fight or flight. We want to be able to regulate and get out of that state. So we do what we need to do, but then we go back into the regulated state, which is rest and digest. That is when, on a physiologic level, our blood literally returns to our organs so that they can perform the necessary functions for metabolism, for health, for detoxification, etc. So it is so crucial to be able to switch into that. And one of the ways, this is a little extra bonus for you, to tell what your body's in, because most people don't know. They're like, well, how do I know, right? One is paying attention to your heart rate. That's usually a good one. So if you notice that your heart rate is elevated, but my favorite one is literally putting a hand on your chest and a hand on your belly button and just feeling where your breath is. So if you just take a regular breath, try not to think about it. Is your chest rising or is your belly expanding? If your belly is expanding, we're regulated. If your chest is rising as you're breathing, then you are in fight or flight. And that's also the beauty, is that by using what I call belly breathing or mindful breathing or diaphragmatic breathing is the full name of it, by breathing into our belly, we can actually consciously start rewiring our nervous system and getting it back into rest and digest. So that's just a quick, fun way that you can check in, and you can do that throughout the day and see, where am I? What's going on? So when we're looking at this approach, right, people sometimes say, well, I'm too complicated. I've got autoimmune disease and I've got thyroid issues and I've got histamine problems and I've got gut and I've got pain and et cetera, et cetera. And nothing works for me. I've tried it all. What I want to say to you is that you are not broken. Even if you've tried so many things, there is a block going on, and often it is this energetic health identity block. Your body is not the enemy. It's trying to protect you, especially based on your old programming. And when we shift that energetic blueprint, your body feels safe to let go of inflammation, fatigue, resistance. And again, healing becomes possible and inevitable because it is your identity. It is who you are. It is easeful. It is effortless because it is in alignment. Now, the other side of that is that sometimes the approach is not in alignment with what you actually need in this phase of your journey. And so that is where we go deeper with decoding your body and understanding, what is it that my body actually needs right now? What is it ready for? Because we're going to need different things in different parts of our journey. And I invite you to think of, what is the identity of someone who struggles with health? Because this is one that, again, is one of those tough love questions that sometimes we really need to see, and not everyone. However, some of us have this, without realizing it, we hold on to the identity of being the one who's always struggling, the one who always has the health issues. And why do we do this sometimes? Because there's comfort in it. And this is where, again, we do some deeper work where, we think back as a kid, how was I treated when I had a tummy ache and I, said I wasn't feeling well? Maybe we were taken care of. Maybe it's the only way that we knew how to receive support. Maybe it's how you justify rest or slowing down. And again, these are tough questions sometimes, and really powerful when we take that moment to really tune in and feel, what is it that may be going on for us? What may be a pattern, again, from childhood or maybe in adulthood that we adopted? Again, I see this often in moms, where moms just push, push, push and do everything for the kids and then often forget about themselves. And then these health conditions start showing up because this is the way that we start taking care of ourselves. And it's really kind of interesting spiral is the way that I think about it. I also see this often in healthcare providers, and I work with so many healthcare providers. And these can be nurses, doctors, naturopaths, registered dietitians, health coaches, psychologists. I've worked with so many different healthcare practitioners because, again, if you are in this field, you often are used to giving. You are a healer, a giver, and we often forget about ourselves. This goes for so many different people, but just to give you a couple things that might start clicking into place for you and start putting the pieces of the puzzle together for you. And ultimately, right, what if we could still be supported and still ask for help and still rest when we need and get what we need without needing to be unwell to deserve it? Right? What would that be like? What's the identity of that person? And can you feel that difference? If this is resonating with you, are you ready to start letting go of that old identity and step into one where health, ease, and support coexist? And again, this is so common. So if this is ringing a bell for you, I want you to know, especially in chronic conditions, this is something we see very often. And there's, again, no right or wrong. There's no judgment. It's this understanding. When we start getting that, we start recognizing how our body has been trying to protect us, how our body has been trying to get our needs met, how our body has been working for us. However, it may not be the way that we want it to, right? How can we work with our body to make it work in a sustainable way that still lets us love our health, our life, and experience life fully? And so again, this is an opportunity to share because people often get many big insights in this stage. Feel free to put it in the chat, in the discussion section, in the members area. And this is the bonus. So for those who are live, I'm going to put into the chat a code word. Okay, and this is your code to get the Reclaim Your Innate Healing workshop mini course for free. And so you will get this link in your emails again after the masterclass, but that code word, go ahead and just save it there. And this workshop and masterclass is all about your nervous system, techniques and strategies and understanding of how to regulate your nervous system. Because again, like we talked about, if we don't shift out of fight or flight, we're going to be stuck in this cycle of doing all the things, but our body won't be able to receive the healing. And this is so profound. They're simple strategies and techniques, but they are very powerful. And for those who aren't watching live, you will also get an opportunity to get that at a discounted rate. I'll mention that as well. Now, how do we make these changes stick, right? Because oftentimes people say, well, I'm really busy. Maybe, again, you're working a lot. Maybe you've got your own business. Maybe you've got family and all sorts of commitments, right? But we really don't need hours at the gym and making these like Pinterest perfect meals and all this stuff to make health work. That's an old model that's been talked about. But when our identity shifts, health supporting choices feel automatic. We just have to kind of have some guidance as far as where to go. But once we know, it becomes a no-brainer. You start craving what supports you, not what sabotages you. It becomes, again, in alignment with you. It becomes the no, I'm not a smoker. No, I'm not going to do that. And it becomes the yes, I'm definitely going to do this because this is who I am. This is my identity as a healthy person. And there's this bonus right now. Summer is this beautiful, energetic window to start this. I mean, can you feel when summer comes around, everyone just seems to like have this burst of energy, right? Even for those who are fatigued, there's a shift that happens. We want to be out in the sun. We want to be in nature, even if it's deep down inside. There's a small part of you that's craving that because we are innately connected to nature. We are connected to the seasons. We are connected to the shifts of Mother Earth. And there's this lightness, this, again, inner motivation, this momentum in this season itself. And it leverages that energy to help you shift with ease and not overwhelm. So this is the perfect time to start getting into the groove and doing this work. And then I invite you again to imagine your ideal summer day. And so if you feel called to, you can close your eyes and literally picture it, like picture yourself there. How are you waking up in the morning? Right? How are you waking up in the morning? Are you hitting the snooze button 5 times? Or are you waking up calm and refreshed, ready for your day? What are your energy levels like? Are you, again, dragging yourself out of bed and dragging yourself through the day? Or ideally, are you excited and pumped up for your day and ready to, almost like skip? There was one day I skipped into the kitchen and I went, wow, that was awesome. I need to get into that mode even more, right? Like, what is the energy level? What are you doing throughout your day? Yes, we all have responsibilities, right? We work responsibilities, family responsibilities. But with that time, right? Like, what do we want to do with our days? We want to go take a walk with our family. Do we want to go on a hike? Do we want to go to the beach? That's one of my favorite spots. So I'm definitely planning some beach days coming up very soon. How do you feel in your body, right? Are you feeling clear and light and radiant? Who are you with, right? Who are you spending your time with? How are you navigating your day? Is it with ease and joy and confidence and laughter and fun and little dance breaks throughout the day? What impact are you having on your work, your family, the world? We all have a purpose. We all have a calling. Maybe it is to serve clients or patients. Maybe it's to be an amazing mom or grandma or dad or whatever to your little ones. Maybe it's to be amazing in your community and to help others in whatever way, right? Feel that experience, whatever resonates with you, and breathe that in. So again, put your hand on your belly and take a breath in through your nose into your belly, and a nice long exhale through the mouth. Anchor that in, that this is possible for you. It's not a fantasy. When we take this time to vision it, our body remembers. Our body starts holding that, hey, this is me. This is possible for me. I want you to know it is possible for you. And again, take a moment to consider what becomes possible when you're guided through this process. When making nourishing choices feels natural and not forced. When you wake up energized and go to bed satisfied with your day. When your body starts to heal and regulate itself without constant micromanaging. When you stop second guessing every symptom or food choice. And you learn to trust yourself again, your innate wisdom within. When you finally feel at home in your body. Health becomes your identity, not your struggle. With the right support, again, this transformation isn't just possible, it becomes inevitable because you are that person. And it's all about crossing this bridge from thinking to action. This is where many people get stuck. We think, right? We vision, we dream, we go, oh, wouldn't that be amazing? But it's taking those steps to action, to actually doing it. Now, there's lots of things to consider here because when we start doing things that are overwhelming and really big, and we want to make all these massive changes at once, that actually works against us. And so maybe some of you have tried that, where you've tried making all these massive changes and then you've kind of fallen off, or, something hasn't worked out, right? You kind of go back into your old habits. Instead, we want to start with small, aligned actions that create effortless consistency. It's not about willpower, it's about aligned action, right? With this health identity, what are the actions that a person with this health identity would do? And we want to keep you on the path. We want to keep you on the bridge so that you get to that destination. You don't end up veering off the path. And trust me, I've been there. I've taken steps off the path. We're all human, right? We've all had our obstacles in life and our experiences. However, it's always getting back on the path, always getting back and moving towards that destination. And this is one of the ways that I would love to support you. And is it okay if I share a little bit more about this program that literally guides you through this process? This is the Wellness by Design program, which is literally your health revolution. This is where the real transformation begins. It's a complete reset at the energetic and identity level. And I'll be honest, I do this with my clients multiple times throughout the year, because as we go through the year, we shift, we get to a new level. And now we need to recalibrate and say, all right, what's been working? What hasn't been working? Where's my destination? Maybe the destination has changed, right? And how do I get into alignment? And it's all about feedback of what's been working, what hasn't, and just staying on that path. This is how we do it. So this is what's included and how this can support your transformation. This first part is a 3-part virtual wellness mini retreat. So these are self-paced sessions that are at the heart of your health identity shift with the radiant energy techniques. So this is literally the process that the divine dropped into my lap that day on the beach that made all the difference. And I guide you through these sections so that you get the health identity shift, you anchor it into your being, and you also learn how to, again, break it down into small, actionable steps. Something that's not overwhelming, that's not going to get you flustered and to give up. It's something that's going to keep you going and gaining momentum as you go. And these sessions are so powerful. Alone, just those are a $597 value, and I've sold it for that price before. Now you also, with this package, get a private one-on-one coaching session with me and an intuitive reading. So what this does is you get to share what comes up for you during that mini retreat process. And based on that and your health scenario, what's going on, we start identifying your unique health blocks and uncovering your custom roadmap of how to get you to where you want to be. And that one-on-one session is transformational. Everyone leaves it just going aha moment after aha moment, because we start, again, putting those pieces together for you specifically. And this is why I offer it in this way, because the personalization piece is so important. We're all in such different stages and phases of our journey. We need to personalize and make sure that we're getting a little clarity about where you are personally. And then there's post-integration email support and accountability. This is so you feel guided and not overwhelmed. Just like this masterclass, you're going to experience it. I break things down into small chunks. So you get an email with step 1. You get an email with step 2. And you work on this at your own pace so that you always know what is the next step in the process. And let's say you have a busy week. Great. You do what you can, and then you come back when you're ready, when the time aligns for you. You have lifetime access to this. Now, again, there's the members area access where you get access to the replays, the resources, and community access. What I do, because I know, like myself, if there's no deadline, I like to let things sometimes kind of go by, right? And go, no, I'm going to get to it tomorrow. I'm going to get to it tomorrow. So what I do is the replay, there is a deadline through August 31st for the actual replays. Now, this is, again, a little bit of extrinsic motivation, because some of us do need a little bit of that, to go ahead and watch them and actually go through them. Now, the reason I also do this is because I do this every few months, and the energy and the message is going to be different based on the season, based on who is present, right? Who's signing up. So what we do is we shift that presentation and that message based on the current time. So you're going to get, again, the summer version through August 31st. And then there will be a fall version. For those who sign up, you get discounted, greatly discounted rates for all of the future ones, so that you can join us live if that's something that you feel called to do so. Now, there's also the resources and community access. For that, you do have lifetime access. So certain things like breathwork bonuses, again, even nervous system regulation techniques, etc. All of that is in the members area, and you get that for life. And then, of course, the energetic shift that leaves you feeling like a new person and allows for deep healing to occur. This is priceless. You can't really put a price on that. But when you start feeling yourself transforming into this new health identity, it feels so good, let me tell you. And you're going to, it's going to drive you forward. You get hooked on it. You want to keep going forwards because you see the progress and the momentum. And again, this isn't just like a meal plan or supplement list. This is not what you're signing up for. It's the method that shifts your identity, rewires your relationship with health, and transforms how you feel on so many levels, physically, emotionally, energetically, even spiritually. And quite honestly, you don't have to sign up for the future ones, because with this, you learn the techniques how to do this for yourself. You can host mini retreats for yourself whenever you feel called to do so. So this is, again, the empowerment piece, that I'm giving you the tools so that you know how to do this for a lifetime. You can share it with friends and family members. And again, it's like this ripple effect, this ball that keeps rolling and getting bigger, because the more people that experience this, the more people help to share the word about it. And again, one client said, it's not like I'm trying anymore. This is just who I am now. That's the power of this method. You just become a different person, one where health is the identity. There's no other options. And so again, with the total value of this, you get the 3-part Wellness by Design sessions. You get the one-on-one coaching session with the intuitive reading. That's a $297 value. You get the integration email support and accountability. People find so much value in this because it literally guides you through the process and breaks it down. That's $247. You get the members area access with the replays, again, of the sessions till August 31st for $194 value. And then again, the energetic shift that is literally priceless. So overall value is over $1,300. But today and through the next week, so until June 22nd, you get the discount of an extra $200 for a total of $298 with the code SUMMER. So that code SUMMER is only going to be good for the next week. This is such a discount on if you were kind of purchasing everything separately. And this is the transformation that lasts a lifetime. And with this, you have 2 choices, right? You can keep doing what you've been doing. And more than likely, it hasn't worked if you're here. You may be spending money and time on supplements or other diets or other things that you're forcing your health from the outside in. Or you can choose to align with the truth of who you are and reclaim the vibrant, healthy life that your body is wired for. This is my invitation to you, and this is the reset that your body is wanting, it's craving. And this is your summer for transformation. So for those who are ready, go ahead and click the link and let's join and start your identity shift together. So, oh, I cannot copy and paste that link, but again, that will be in your email coming up with the replay of this event. So that will be coming by tomorrow. And again, I just invite you to take a moment and think about that gap. So where you are now, everything you've tried and the results that you've gotten so far or lack of versus where you want to be, right? What does that gap look like for you? That tangible gap that is there. And imagine again where you want to be, energized, clear, confident in your body and your choices. That gap doesn't close by just pushing and trying harder. It closes when you shift your identity. Are you ready to close that gap for good? If you are, go ahead and again, sign up. Again, it's a great discount right now, and it includes that one-on-one session. So you get personalized guidance and support. And again, you're here because you heard the call. You're not here by accident. You're here because you're ready. You're ready to transform your health and life. You wouldn't sit through a masterclass otherwise. And in every hero's journey, there comes this moment of choice. Will you answer the call or let fear delay the transformation? Another day, another week, another month, another year. And they say that when the student is ready, the mentor will appear. You're here, I'm here. I have the map. Let me be your health GPS and have you feel this transformation and this shift in your being. This is the first step, and it would be my honor to guide you on this journey. And so again, whatever you're dealing with, whatever signs or symptoms, conditions, there are so many more that I just couldn't fit on this picture because otherwise there wouldn't be room for anything else. These are the root causes that make the difference. And again, for those who are live, That code is in the chat for your free workshop and mini course on reclaiming your innate healing. For those who aren't, you will get a discounted code as well in your email. And let's just talk about some next steps, right? So for everyone, whether you continue with the Wellness by Design program or not, you've already gotten so many amazing tools and strategies just in this masterclass alone to start your transformation. So one of them is journaling. Those questions that we talked about, getting clear on your why, and even some of those tough love questions, spending some time journaling on those will make such a difference. And again, you will have lifetime access to this replay as well. So you can go at your own pace. There will be emails coming afterwards that will guide you through those practices as well. There is also the Stuck to Radiant workbook. And this workbook is literally your insight into where you are stuck. And it, again, guides you through the process of figuring out your own blocks. If you want to do this on your own, the workbook is at a great discount. Again, there will be an email coming out with more information about that. But if you want to do it on your own, the workbook is a fantastic way to start working through and decoding your body, understanding why is it that things haven't worked before. And there's always going to be resources and bonuses in the curriculum section and in the masterclass emails. So make sure to keep an eye out for those. And as always, with gratitude for you spending this time with me, whether you're live or watching the replay, I wish all of you radiance and this vibrant health and life that we are all have available to us. It is our birthright to feel well. We just need to come back to the center and shift this identity and this energy around what's brought us to this place in the first place. And when we do that, everything is possible. Opportunities open for you and for your loved ones and for your life as a whole. And one more song to finish us off, Dancing Away. So this is one actually from my college. Actually, no, I think it was high school years. And this is just a nice reminder that health can be easy. It doesn't have to be work. It doesn't have to be hard. And again, it can be effortless and easeful, and we can be enjoying our lives and feeling joy and presence and peace and excitement every single day.